world. I'm back real quick. Well, I have a little bit of space in between tackling this big guy right now and doing a lot of writing. I'm boiling my oatmeal, or my water for my oatmeal, working on this coffee, and then I was like, you know what? As I was just going through it, like I have my highlighter ready, I'm ready to start getting ready, but I was like, you know me, I love a little flipping through a book, a little book flip for some divination. So I was just flipping, and I thought I was recording because I wanted to see where we would land. But guess where we landed? The Charter of Human Rights. If that isn't a place to start off. Oaths of the office. Exactly. Anyway. Yeah, human rights. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. And then there's this other book I got out from the library. The Holy Shit Moment. How lasting change can happen in an instant. This is what I'm feeling, guys. And I'm all about the thunderbolts. That's my symbol. I do feel very connected to Thor. That kind of energy. So like a little thunderbolt. That's what today is feeling. And again, we're in this energy of Thursday. Jupiter. Expansion. So there's something here. Maybe it's a collective. Is there something going to happen on the world today, guys, that, like, again, we don't see coming? It's going to be like that iceberg that we talked about. Here, I can hear that water crackling away. It's not ready yet, but we do have a little deck. Let's just get a little Snoopy and Scoopy. Well, hold on. Do we have to? I think it's just the water on the elements, because I just turned it on. Okay. We'll go check in a sec. Okay. Crowd favorite. 10 of Cups. Crowd favorites. Grandmama. Get in here. Stat. All the other crowd favorites. And you know what? I really do. I do love Mother Mary. I love Mary Magdalene. St. Catherine of Siena. Get in here. Oh, what's his nuts? Oh boy. This is what happens with stress on the brain. It does make it very hard to think. Saint Germain. Yeah, Saint Germain. Saint Germain, Purple Hearts of Flame. There is something in the air today. My pals let me use their place so that I could do some uninterrupted work, which is very nice of them. They're going skiing. It's a perfect ski day. There's so much snow outside. Okay. Grandmama. We got people in this collective. We got people in the world. Things are brewing. Human rights. Oh, and then I was also... Spirit had directed my attention last night, and I've noticed it the last couple months. I very rarely use Facebook. I have to use Facebook because anything in this city, in this region, everyone posts on Facebook, even, for things like work or, I don't know, all the things. But one thing I've noticed that Facebook does knowingly, maybe you've noticed this, there'll be something in your feed, and it will ask you, interested, not interested. But you know what they do that's real fucking cunty? Is that they switch up which way the interested, not interested is. They never keep it the same. So you have to pay attention, because if it is something that you're actually interested, where you're like, you know what? I would hit interested on this. I do want owl feed. Like, I want all the owls, wolves, and animals in my feed. Yes to interested. But because they switch it around, there's this like muscle memory that happens where you go to hit what you think is interested and it's not interested. So Spirit was pointing that out. So there's something here about, again, trickery. This is why, again, take the power back. And also, like, my emergency is not your emergency. I don't give a fuck what system, institution. Like, when it comes to barriers, and again, usually people who aren't coming correct, they like to rush things. That's part of that bullying tactic, right? Like, everything's, and it's like, you know what? No. We're going to go low and slow. We're going to make sure that due process is happening, and that any barriers that I'm facing that are also not my responsibility, it is not my fault that the province of Quebec is experiencing, like, things judicially where I'm just like, hire some more people, like, at minimum, like, not my responsibility. So there's something here about, I feel like there is something that you're interested in and that you want, and some kind of external thing is going to try to trick you. to say that you're not interested. Could be like a job offer or an opportunity, but it feels like there's like usually a person that's kind of on your periphery that's, again, it's going to be sneaky. Okay, so grandmama. Also, Ascended Masters, like, what do we have to say today about this? There is a vibe. There's a flavor. The moon. And this card, at least for me, has been coming. Okay, hold on. We gotta go check on this water. Where's my oatmeal? Did I bring it into the kitchen? Hold on. I like to carry my snacks. I'm gonna take you with me. Here we go. Ooh. Okay. Doop, doop, doop. Okay, perfect. It is boiling. Crazy. Just turn that off for a sec. Okay, so what I was saying is, hold on, I'm gonna put this down. Sorry guys for the little close-ups here of my face. You know, can't hurt to pack your little dry oats with all your little nuts, seeds, and berries. Also, brown sugar. Okay. Hold on, folks. This is the thing. And, okay, I'm all over the place, I know. I also saw another reel where this woman was like really speaking to other women, but it's for all of us. We gotta quit starving ourselves. We're fighting a war on every level, systemic, micro, macro. We gotta keep ourselves fed. We gotta get the nutrients in there. And I know sometimes it's hard to eat and sometimes we don't have access to good food. I know all of these things, I get it. But in the moments when we can, we gotta nourish ourselves. Oh shit, cinnamon. Sorry guys, it's not my place, but the heater is turning itself on because it's a chilly day. Hold on. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to our section here. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah, make sure at minimum you're getting some water, some snacks. But going back to this moon, oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me just... It's chaotic. I know. What else is new? Again, I'm not going to be for everybody. Okay, but this energy, this card, has been popping out left, right, and center. But it doesn't want to disclose much. And this is what I'm really sensing, not just for myself, but for the collective. There's been this... And it's interesting because in tarot, you hear a lot of people talk about what is hidden. But in a lot of the teachings that I have been taught, more from like the indigenous elders that I grew up with. In case you don't know, I was born and raised in the Northwest Territories of Canada, and I've lived all over Canada, but in where we moved, most of the communities that I grew up in are indigenous. So I was really lucky that all of my good friends, and in the way that the schools were designed, you usually got to pick French lessons or the indigenous language of that area, and I always picked that. So you had access, and just the community, you always have access to elders and the teachings. So for me, with Grandmother Moon, and especially with the full moon, it's the illumination of things, and it is emotional. And yes, while nighttime and things can be hidden, there is a bigger revealing. So there is something mysterious here, and just like that iceberg, it's below the surface. It might not be quite tangible yet. The moon also, again, dictates our tides. And I'm thinking about the Light Seers deck, where the Empress, the one where she has her eyes closed and she's the pregnant woman and her belly's the earth and there's like a school of fish, but then we see the moon and there's something about orbiting and like the tides. Like a gravitational pull. Ooh, a gravitational pull. Again, interested, not interested. Okay, Grandmama. There's 2 castles here. Interested? Yeah, there's something here about interested, not interested. I feel like this is you. I feel like you're like this little lobster. Your little pincers. And you're about to hit on what you think is interested. And it's like there's a trick here. So even just with the idea of like the full moon being illuminated, and going back to what I was saying, like, your emergency isn't my emergency. Take as much time as you need. Like, treat it kind of like a Mercury retrograde, where you really want to dot those I's and cross the T's. Really look at things. Okay, Grandmama. Oh, and this is great too because the moon also rules Pisces, or any of the water signs, but Pisces especially. And for those of you who don't know, old Grandmama, she was a Pisces. Absolutely. Lover of all people. Okay, so what are we talking about with this moon here? I flipped it over, but it flipped, and it's reversed. Okay, so it flipped over. When I normally flip over, it's face up, but it gave its back itself to me. Okay, so something or someone is fucking around here and doesn't want to be seen, and it was the High Priestess reversed. We don't do a lot of reversals, but I'm gonna take it. Also, I gotta stir my oatmeal here for a hot second. Sorry, there's a bit of a wet sound. I know if you're noise sensitive like me and it's got that sound, just turn off the volume for like 10 seconds. Let me give it a wet stir. Ooh. Sorry guys. I know sometimes that noise is it's not appreciated. Okay. Oh, Grandma, we have a High Priestess. Oh, but normally the High Priestess upright the focus is on the fact that she works alone, very mysterious. But there's, again, a reticence. It's quiet. She's a keeper of secrets. She doesn't divulge. But she's reversed. This, to me, feels like what I was saying this morning about the iceberg. It's like 1 second, and again, you think you know, and then it's just like... Hey, and look who's here on the bottom, a little moon. And that's a new moon. Look, the two moons are facing, like... Not quite sure what it all means yet, but there's something here. Okay. Okay, Grandma, Spirit, you got me excited. Let's follow the mystery, and let's fill up my cup with this fun, emotional... I do love doing readings for you guys. It's fun for me. It is a way of coping sometimes, not gonna lie. So this will give me the spiritual strength to get all the bureaucratic unpleasantness that I have to do today. Okay. But also what a privilege, right? It is a privilege. Oh, yeah. Especially because if you knew my son, and I'm so protective, so like I'll never share a photo, but like trust in me, he is the cutest. And it's not even just his face, it's his whole being. So like, it is a privilege. I always remind myself of that. It's not just about me. It's like, this is about him, but it is a privilege to be able to do all these like really unpleasant things on his behalf and my behalf. Okay, Grandma. Oh, I had the deck. Okay, so they'd all be reversed. I'm gonna take it for that. Okay, so then we have Strength. Okay. Now, normally, I never want to see a line being handled like this, but I feel like this is the magic trick. I feel like this is like again, remember, you've been working behind the scenes quietly. Sometimes, again, that pulling back of energy. All of 2025, Spirit had to literally stop everything for me, but that's because I literally was done. Depression of the mind, really not a lot of hope left. So when you're dealing with really hard things, you have to give yourself that grace to be like, it is okay to stop. It's not giving up. It's like the whole oxygen mask. You have to tend to yourself first. And anyone that's gone into battle, that's why in the story of the tarot, when we see that 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands, it's because anyone that used to do those old school battles, you get the bandages on the head. So you gotta rest. You gotta recoup. So I feel like, get out of here. I feel like this is what has been occurring. There's this drawing back, working behind the scenes. And now there's something about today. I'm telling you, the whole iceberg, it's flipped. And now look at you. Look, you got on your little pirate hat. And there's something, this feels like a magic carpet. I don't know why, that's just what's come through. But there's something here. Whatever it is that you've been up against, oh, look at you go. Look at you go. You marched right over to that goddamn line. You grabbed it by the snout, opened up its mouth and said, like, open up. Open up. You know when your pet does, usually a dog, they eat something disgusting, and you're like, nope. You have to be like, drop it, open up. Even with your kids sometimes. My kid, he never went that way, oddly enough. My niece did. She used to love putting rocks in her mouth when she was a little peanut. Oh my God, if you left her for 1 second, she'd just have a mouthful of gravel, and you'd be like, ah. Anyway, but yes, it's giving this where you're just like, drop it. And just like any parent, we all know this energy, or even like the abuelas, the grandmas, the chanclas, we all know this energy. The energy is firm and strong. You don't need to yell. It's an energy where you're just like, drop it. And then you do things like, yeah, open up the snout. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we'll clarify all the rest, but let's get, okay, so what's going underneath the moon? Oh, guys, I got my tiger tights on again, and it's so hot. It's so hot everywhere I go. Oh, I hate being hot and uncomfortable. Okay, least of my concerns. Oh, the Four of Swords, exactly. There's been a resting period. But look, I don't know, this flower, to me it's like a big eye. I'm hearing like the moon has been resting. What does that mean, Spirit? Anyway, Spirit was showing that this is like the moon. Oh, and all the petals falling off. So it's kind of like a death. Going back to interested, not interested. Remember? He loves me, she loves me not. Interested, not interested. There's something here about the petal. Okay, again, guys, you know how this goes. Oh, this is intriguing. Okay, so what's going underneath the High Priestess reverse? No, just one, please, 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 just one. What's going underneath the High Priestess reverse? The Star. Well, she also has flowers tattooed all over her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars. And guys, I was just saying the 8-pointed star. Wait, are these 8-pointed stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8-pointed stars. Oh my God. See, this is the thing. You think being a psychic is easy sometimes in your own life? No, Spirit really makes me work for it. We've had silence on the 8-pointed star for a few days. Now it's coming back up. Okay. The 8-pointed star. Spirit, you have me so intrigued. You know this is my love language. I am intrigued, but like, okay, we're gonna follow the mystery together. The flower petals. But the flower is also being shown as a star. And the night that I was out in the snowstorm, when Spirit was really going on about the 8-pointed star, whatever, there was a point in the night where Spirit was also using these bright orange cones in this field. It's whatever. But that there was parts of the 8-pointed star that were missing. 3 and 4. I know, this is not going to make sense. I'm working out both my process and your process because Spirit is bringing something through. Well, this has 4, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, hold on. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep it moving, but there's something here about the star, the flower, the petals. Interested, not interested. Okay, what's going underneath? Strength. The 9 of Wands. Exactly. But instead of, I feel like, again, the 9 of Wands is usually, again, we see him pretty bandaged up. But this to me is it's that reclaiming of power, of setting the boundary, and again, that rest to come back to be like, to finish the fight. There's hold on. There's something here again about the 8 points, because the one rod is middle, but these ones. Okay, what's going underneath the moon and the Four of Swords? The Hermit. And he also has, like, on his robe here, it's like a star or a flower. There's this theme here of like flowers and stars, but this hermit, he is looking to the past. He's referencing it. There's a lot of blue here, but just like a star in the night sky. And even like in the strength card, right? Like there's these like little revealings of light popping through. Most of these cards have a lot of blue. Really, the one that has the most light is the star. The star is also facing the past. The strength card is facing the past. The high priestess is the only one that sits direct and is staring directly at me. Okay, so we've got this past energy. Okay, so grandma, what's going underneath the high priestess reverse to the star? The emperor. Also facing the past. And there's something here about the slippers. I don't know what's going on with the slipper action here, but Spirit is making note of the foot being out. A foot. Something is afoot, exactly. But with the moon card being here again, there's this very, I don't even think mysterious is the right word. It's suggestive. You know when you're underneath, have you ever gone for walks and you've ever walked underneath power lines? Sometimes you can kind of hear this like buzz, you know? And if you weren't standing at just the right spot, or if you weren't just listening or if like the din of the world didn't come down just enough. But again, there's this kind of alive, who's calling? Sorry guys. It's like not looking like a scammy number, but I'm also like, I'm so particular about who calls me. I'm very, if you know, you know. If you've been stalked more than once, you just know that, yeah, people who have access to. Okay, so something's afoot. Yeah, this live wire. It's that like hum. Like this low audible hum. Oh my God, you're calling again. What do you want? Get out of here. I'm gonna say no thank you. Interested, not interested. Me even just like declining the call. There's something here about, okay, Spirit, you really got us all over the place. I'm dying to know, where are we going? Okay. Strength, 9 of Wands. What's going underneath? The 10 of Swords. This is what I mean. Collective, like, again, we all have our own story. Sometimes it's going to look different. As we all know, my whole thing is with justice. But our betrayals, our disappointments, injustices outside of the legal system, they can happen anywhere. And just like any living thing, everything wants to protect itself, including old dirt-kicking snakes or institutions, you know, like power. Power likes to protect itself. Actually, you know what? I recant that. Because I feel like it's people who feel disempowered that crave power and then enact the very things that don't really represent true power. Like, to me, dominance is not true power. Controlling people is not true power, because it's coming from a place of believing that you do not have control, that you do not have power, that you're not seen as powerful. True power doesn't need to seek itself out. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Okay, Grandma, can we talk? What is this moon? That moon, especially with the Four of Swords, but let's clarify the moon. Judgment. And it's funny because I was looking at this cross when this came out, but then I always see this as a cross. Okay, so, and again, going back to these kind of floral images, there's something here about the flower. And actually, the painting that's right behind the camera right now, and I've been looking at it this whole time doing the reading, is this flower. Hold on. And flower petals. Yeah, it's my friend Johnny's. Hold on. Let me see how I turn around. You see what I'm saying? Okay. The softness of a petal. Okay, but there is judgment here. Grandma, is it collective that's going to be chosen, or is it collective who's given the opportunity to say interested, not interested? Because on one hand, what I was hearing is that you get chosen. See how these people are like, pick me, like the pick-me's, pick me. And it's like, this big angel is like, no, we're tooting, we're getting root-a-toot-toot for you. And seeing this person has just been holding their heart where they're just like, oh, we all know that prayer. Like, oh, God, how long must I wait? Oh. It does feel global. I know this is the collective, but we do have some very interesting astrological placements. Things have been really gearing up. Okay, Grandmama. Judgment to the moon. Can you tell me a little bit more? Okay, hold on, I got distracted by that. The moon to judgment. Justice. Oh my God, you know I love to see her. You know I'm married to this card at this point, and justice for all. Okay. So there is something here, just like what I was saying this morning. And it is so hard to believe. Any one of us that is just going through it, if you know, you know. There are just some things that are truly untenable. They go on and on and on. You don't see your way out. But things they do happen below the surface. There's so much that we don't see. As above, so below. I do believe whatever is up in the ethers, I do believe our spirit teams, that there's so much more at play. Okay, I fucking love this. Okay. Grandmama, let's talk about this High Priestess reverse. The Six of Swords. Okay, so it is about a movement. Something's afoot. Well, even just their feet being out like that, but it seems to me it's like everything has to have a first step, right? And there's still something here about, with her being reversed, that the moon becomes upright again. And if we were to think about the iceberg, you see where I'm going with this? I know, guys, it's kind of all over the place, but there's a lot happening within this reading. And it could be one of my classic, like sometimes when I get these downloads from spirits, they go on for days and weeks. Like the points of connection are just like everywhere. And sometimes I just have to like stop it. Okay, so tell me about this movement, the Six of Swords. Are you physically leaving? Is it a foot in the right direction? We're seeing all of this. Like, tell me more, Grandmama. Oh my God, look at the heavy hitters. The Hierophant. Institutions. And again, we're seeing, see how now there's two people pleading here? Remember? This guy, this poor lonely guy, who's not a pick-me person, but is just like hand over heart, I think was having like a moment of quiet. Like instead of being hysterical before the angel showed up, is just like praying from their heart. And that's really what the message has been the last two readings that I've done. There's this, it's about the heart, right? Our love. We had the swan today, and yesterday it was that knight, the Knight of Cups, but it was the woman on the lotus flower who had the big harp guitar, or the heart guitar. I don't know, man. It's looking a little bit suspicious for two people here. A foot in the right direction. Foot in the right direction might be like, yeah, for some of you, you might have two specific people, or the tables are about to turn, like in this way. But like we have judgment to the Hierophant and justice. Like this to me is giving institutions, but especially like legal. So, and we're seeing this in the world. Like I really do feel that this is where I'm talking to you collective in your own, you know, little microcosm here, but I am feeling as though something on the global stage, and at this point, like every single day on the global stage, it's just bananagrams, something significant. And I'm telling you, because look, in this one, judgment, it's like the angel is choosing to be like, we heard you and we're coming for you. And these two idiots, hot dogs for brains. And see, this is the messenger. This is just an angel. Now we got old Father Spirit here. And look, he has bags. Oh, he's got bags. Because why? Because the whole world's on fire right now. Everybody needs some assistance. And there's a whole lot of fuckery and bullshit. So even God's a little bit tired, even with all the assistance of the angels and ancestors. Yeah. So God is just like, okay, you two. Yeah. Okay. Who are these two people? I actually do feel like it's two people because they're showing they're side by side. And also because look, this is the past energy and now this is the current energy. They're facing its future. Their energy was past facing and now future facing. They have to go up against God. They have to go up against like the hierarchy. Ooh, mamacita. Okay, who are these two people quickly, Grandmama? What, who or what? Oh, a King of Wands and a Queen of Coins. Okay. Well, again, going back to the pick-me's, a devolved King of Wands. Not pleasant. Same with the Queen of Coins. Yeah. They would want all the attention. Oh boy. Okay, so we have an energy. It does look like two people. It does look like a man or a woman does not have to be put where it fits. Okay, so Grandma, let's get into this Strength card. The Wrangling of the Lion. Oh, who's getting their mouth just ripped open for the truth? Maybe this is like literally the truth being ripped out of their goddamn mouth. Or maybe this is you being like, you know what? Get my name off of your tongue. You can take my goddamn name right out of your mouth. I've told that to people. Oh, absolutely. I was like, you can absolutely take my fucking name right out of your mouth. Yeah, these lips, they don't lie. That's why either you love me or you don't. There is no in between with this Gemini. It's the duality. You either love me or you don't. It's always been this way. There's no middle ground. And I just speak it like it is. And most people don't like that. That's okay. What else is new? Okay, Grandmama. What's going on with this line? Oh, the Ten of Cups. And we saw that to start this. Yeah, going back to advocating. Drawing back that energy just like a tsunami does. You pull back in order. Oh, and with the moon and the tide. But a tsunami is not acting within the constraints of the moon and the tide. It's all the other things. But going back to tectonic plates, earthquakes, and we had that crack. Japan did just have that earthquake. Canada always gets the tsunamis on the west coast from the Japan's earthquakes. Or Japan's earthquakes, yeah. Well, that's a peace symbol, is it not? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. But yeah, more to my point of like, when you advocate for yourself, when you draw back that energy, you rest so that you can go back in and claim what's yours. This earth, I know I say it all the time, but like this earth, this place is for everybody. It is not for the 1%ers. It's not for who has the most money or who has the most Botox. Like, this earth is for all of us. We all deserve great things. And not to say that life isn't going to life, because that's just not the rules of the game. But we could really downsize and offload some of this bullshit. Yeah, I just see this is it. Taking the power back. Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah, grab them by the nose, open it up and be like, oh, that's my joy and happiness. I'll be taking that. Thank you. Yeah. Also, yeah, please take my name off your tongue. Okay, so the Four of Swords. The Ten of Coins. Oh, whatever you've been doing. And just like myself, it can feel like it's been giving up or that you haven't been doing enough. But within stillness, within taking care of yourself, you have to think long game. For someone like myself, Gemini, it can be really challenging. You gotta think long game. That's where I believe in strategy, is to understand, oh, you gotta think outside of things. And because you've done that for yourself, oh, the rewards are huge. 10 of Cups to the 10 of Panties. Oh, and then we're going to the Star. Well, no wonder you can heal. Like, look at how sexy your healing looks. You got some new tattoos. You're like watering the water. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about the Star. King of Swords. Oh, interesting. I hear him like, you know when people are like, yellow, like to hold up a banana? Or like me, like with my fingers? Yeah, I hear him like, listening to his sword, the sword of truth, but also being a little bit funny and being like, hello, yeah, there's something here about the sword of truth. Listening to the finer points, because that's what it is. It's a blade. What I'm hearing too is that your confines, like the way in which you operate, it's a moral compass. So again, using the model of judicial system, what we know is what is considered lawfulness is not the same as truth. We've seen this throughout history. We've had many laws that we've now amended because we've realized, oh, not the most humane, nor really of sound legal mind presence. Like the idea of like lawfulness and people being like, it's the law. Well, like as we've seen, we've created and written laws that are just total fucking garbage and need to be thrown out and treated as such. So this to me is showing that like what rules and dictates how you operate is that you don't listen to the powers that be who are corrupt. It's like you're working with higher things, but it's really about the truth as it really is, and not how you want it to be, but the truth, facts, right? Facts. And you listen for that. And no matter what's going on around, you're like, you know what? No, we're gonna stick with this. That's what I listen to. That's my guidance. Because like there's no one else around him but this wind. It's just like you, the wind, and this like sharp sword that you're listening to where you're like, hello? Truth? Yes. I love that. Okay. 9 of Wands. Too many. Just one. What's the 9 of Wands? No, I don't want to. I know you bring out 2 for a reason, but like it... Please, can we just do one? Okay, if you want to bring out 2, I won't be fussy. If you have a particular reason why you want to use 2 for this, what is it? The 9 of Wands. Okay, well, we didn't get the 2, but we did get the Ace of Swords. And see, going back to like reversals, upright, this rose is upside down. There is something here about like holding up the sword of truth or like using it to listen, but just like any good King of Swords, like there is power in also putting down your sword. There's ways to fight without using weapons, right? Like it was what I was saying this morning. I was like, we're going to do things differently. And for me, it's through writing. I still have to write something that I have to produce to the court, but it's going to be different. Because I'm just like, really, at the end of the day, I'm not being listened to anyway. So due process, you don't listen to this way. We're going to do it my way. Because it's the only way really to get the attention that I need. So going back to like weapon of choice. And see, even with him, his weapon of choice, but he uses it to listen. He's not using it to enact. And this is what I feel like the 9 of Wands is about defending. It's about defending the truth. Like, this is the thing. This is what I always come back to. And it has everything to do with, for me, courts and the judicial system. But it also, it stands on anything. Like, I absolutely believe in facts. Like, again, empirical data, like things that can be seen, can be like it's not made up. It's coming from different sources, or like there's just things where it's like we can all fundamentally agree that there's just like certain truths and facts that we can participate in, and it's worth defending, worth fighting for. And that's what I see you doing. There's just this like something about like the world being gaslit, you know, and to being like, no, you can call whatever you want. You can call whatever you want till the cows come home. But like the truth is the truth is the truth. Facts are facts are facts. And you're going to defend it. And it's your weapon of choice. But I don't see you using that sword to bring harm. It's like, it's to cut through. Okay. So then we got this Hermit. The 9 of Coins. Or the 8 of Coins, rather. Now see, we see the anvil and the hammer. So putting down the sword to pick up the hammer. To forge something. Something that's long-lasting. Oh, are you going to create your own sort of truth? What is being trying to be passed off as the truth? You're like, that's not my sword. Oh, just like the children's book. There's a whole series of children's books called That's Not My Whatever. My son, we had a few of them, but That's Not My Owl. And then you flip through and it's like, that's not my owl. Its eyes are too googly. That's not my owl. Its wing is too floofy. So yeah, it's like you have something that's so important to you that is worth defending because you believe in it. You know it to be just so. Because as I was saying, it's like I don't have anything really to worry about because when you come correct, when you have the receipts, I don't care how many judges, lawyers, institutions, systems want it. I'm like, no, because I have receipts. Like we're dealing in the realm of the real, not delusion, not strategy, not blah blah. Like we're talking real things. So you can call it whatever the fuck you want to, and you can play all the games that you want. It doesn't change facts. Facts are facts are facts. So yeah, I feel like what you're doing is you're rejecting something something that the world collectively is like, yes, and you're like, nope, and you're like, I am going to take the time, because again, hermit energy, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my cave. I'm going to go up into the mountains. I'm going to forge, I'm going to make my own steel. I'm going to forge my own sword of truth. Oh, know what you're forging? This fucking thing. It's no longer a sword. Again, weapon. Oh. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what this does, really. I don't know what that is. Like, I know it's something to do with his emperor, like kind of fancy, a fancy stick. Why not? Yeah, you're forging a fancy stick. Oh, look, again, you've upgraded. Look, we had a walking stick, which is great. But then you're like, you know what? Fuck this. I deserve more. And I'm going to forge. But even though I don't really know what that does, but you see where I'm going. Okay, tell me about this emperor. Because I feel like, yeah, you go from... But let's find out. Wait, no. What is he? Also, look what's going on with this little cap here. Looks like, it reminds me of a little elf shoe. You know how those little elf shoes roll? I don't know why, but yeah, his hat. Okay. What is this emperor? 2. Okay, I'll take the 2. Because I saw these 2 before. The Ace of Coins to the 4 of Wands. Oh yeah, remember the interested, not interested? But we do see a little snaky snake here. It is an offer. Oh my god, it isn't a snake. It's a bird. Oh man, we'll call it the swan. But I did see it as a snake initially. That's the thing. I think there's about to be some kind of great offer here. And someone doesn't want you to have it. And there's going to be some type of trickery here. But because we did see that swan this morning, got all the flowers here. Some roses. Okay. So wait, is this emperor the one going to be offering this to you? Well, it is the sun to this. Is that the page? Yeah, the page of coins. Now we're back to 2. But see, you were showing up as single as a Pringle before, at least alone. And there was 2 other jerk-kicking snakes that were getting handled. Huh. And it's interesting because when I was looking... See, I do see you as the hermit, but when they sit on the table like this, but I was like, oh, I feel like this person's coming up behind you. A foot. Yeah, they are a foot. Okay. Oh, so there's a little emperor. Now again, this could just be anything, right? This could be just anyone showing up in your life to advocate for you or to support you. Okay, so what does this emperor, what is the offer? No, oh, too many. That's like 3. I don't want to focus on 3. What is the offer? What do they want to give to you? What is this? No, oh, come on. No, there's like 3 cards here. What are you trying to tell me? No, 1 card, please, just to start, just to see what the offer is. What is the offer? 7 of Cups. Well, oh look, and the moon's in the middle. Now, while the 7 of Cups really can speak to things like illusion, choices, options, when you've been stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and you've been fighting battles alone, again, speaking to real things like systemic barriers, you naturally start losing options. That's part of like removing the autonomy of people. You start removing options. A lot of people are forced to make decisions out of desperation, which is not a great place to be able to make decisions. So this person, by just virtue of coming in and giving you not only like options, but I feel like great options. Options that would be like, they're so good that you have to kind of pause to be like, oh, well, that would be really interesting. Or like, huh. Like, they're gonna be the type of options you'll be like, oh man, these are all so good that I have to like really sit and think about it. To be like, huh, okay, tell me a bit more, Grandmama. Because like, we also have the Sun here, the happiest card in the deck. Tell me about the 7 of Cups, these options that this person can provide for you. The 3. Okay, well, I'll take the 3 because it's about options. So we have the Knight of Cups. So there could be a romantic option in here. Hey, look at this. I forgot this is the Death card. Look, the option to end things for all. And look who's 2 little heads here on the bottom. We saw 2, remember? That King of Wands and that Queen of Coins. And because it's the Emperor, this is a person in position that can help end things. To be like, we are fucking done. Finito. Like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Oh, I love this. It is a bit grim, but like, not mad about it. And then the 6 of Wands, which is success, triumph, right? We talked about it. The 6 of Wands always comes after the 5 of Wands. So it's about the epic battle. People forget that. Like the 5 of Wands is about truly like going into war, going into battle. And that's why in the traditional deck, you see in the 6 of Wands that as you would in an old school battle, you'd be riding your horse back into your community with that flag waving and everyone all bandaged up, everyone missing ears, missing limbs, head bandages all over the place. And it's exhausting. Like they look worse for wear because they've just, really put everything on the line there. But it is success. Yeah, the heads of the enemy. Well, can't be mad about it. Can't be mad about it. Okay. Okay, well, Grandma, I gotta eat my oatmeal and I really got to get to work. But this will tide us over all for a bit. Okay. Spirit team, everyone, God especially, Buddha, you're always so quiet. Buddha, Jesus, everybody, Mother Mary, what are these last words? So with all that to be said, what would all of you, Spirit team, want every single one of us to know right now? Okay, I'll take that one. We'll grab 3 cards here. You. Last card. Don't try to sneak more in there. 5 cards? Hold on, let me look at this. Okay, spirit wants, spirit gets. Okay, I haven't looked yet. Okay, so for the first one, the magician. You have everything that you need, everything at your disposal. You have everything you need, whether you know it or not, to create the things that you want for yourself. It may not seem like it, but you are. Okay. Ooh, the two of coins, but look at that. We got the scales of justice here. Okay, hold on, let's see all the cards. Oh, the six of cups, look. Just like Saint Germain. Well, it's not a purple heart, but I feel like that real Jesus burning heart here, it's got like, oh my god, the Knight of Wands to the Nine of Swords. Sorry, it's this Nine of Swords, this big blue eye with the star in the middle here. But then we have this guy, and he's got really blue eyes. But we're at the end of the reading. So I'm like, whoever this person is, okay, really quickly, what is this person worried about? The Ten of Cups. With Judgment on the bottom, again with Justice. Okay, so whatever you're worried about, and this is why, I don't know, out of all this, like, any of the decks, like, I very rarely use cards with any kind of, like, traditional, the cross. So I think this is just a reminder that, like, you have all this passion, you're moving ahead, but there's, again, things that you can't see. And you are, as we all do. We all realistically, even, it doesn't matter how woo you are, when life is happening and it's never ending, it's really hard to see a way out or to believe that good things can still happen or that things can change on a dime and that you won't have this happiness. But just like this, I really do. I feel like I just see someone who's just like literally up to their eyeballs and assholes. They're stuck on some stupid boat with some stupid people and everyone's losing their shit. And I just see this person just like praying to be like, whatever that prayer is, but they're not focused on in the way. And so like, and that's when the angel shows up and it's just like, come on. Everyone else is like, wait, what about us? And they're like, nope, just this person, just this guy. Yeah, so there's a sweetness here that I feel like your spirit team wants to give you, you know? And I know you're worried. But the Nine of Swords, just like the Eight of Swords, it's just like, it's not rooted in anything that has happened. It's in the what ifs. What if this happens? What if? Well, what if what happens next is like total wish fulfillment? Like, what if that? Okay. All right, little kitty whiskers. I gotta eat some oatmeal. I gotta get to work. Still snowing. Okay, but even though it's still snowing, look at this like little beam of light. That's the thing, there'll always be a beam of light. Okay, well, have a great rest of your day. I don't know when I will post next, but I hope it will be sooner than later. We shall see. Okay. Stay blessed, stay golden.